The prestige of Tassinari and Chatel is based on unique know-how, handed down from generation to generation. An outstanding expertise which has developed, become ever more refined, and imposed itself throughout centuries. A label par excellence. For Tassinari and Chatel, each and every creation is unique. To its clients, the brand offers all the richness of its heritage and talent of its creative designers. The meticulously preserved spirit of the past expresses itself in thousands of archived documents, enabling their painstaking reproduction. Among these documents, Tassinari and Chatel has composed a collection of immediately available drawings. To realize unique and exclusive decorations, Tassinari and Chatel's creators are constantly in the service of an artist's sketch, a decorator's idea, a document. All the skills of the men and women are mobilized to fulfill the expressed desire. Adapting the tradition of silk creation to contemporary techniques, the brand has equally preserved physical professions of the silk workers, enabling them to create or reproduce woven fabrics that cannot be transposed to modern machines. The workshops are still to be found in Lyon, cradle of the silk trade in France ever since Francis I. Today, like yesterday, in the workshops reign rigor, meticulousness and passion. A state of mind that guarantees absolute perfection of each and every piece of work. The sumptuous materials at last reveal themselves. Brocades of incomparable colors, stunning damasks, lampers of sumptuous finesse, majestic broches, silk is forever a dream come true when signed by Tassinari and Chatel.
Hello, I'm Carole Damour, Manager of Heritage Conservation and Archives of Tassinari et Chatel, belonging to Le Lièvre Paris, a famous French editor of fabrics. I thank you very much, Corinne Thépeau-Cabasset, who has invited me to speak about making luxury at the ICOM costume meeting. I would like to speak about a famous quality of silk fabrics, which is called the Brocatelle. And we have done two very nice Brocatelles this last months. And I wanted to speak about them because it's a very nice quality which use vegetable yarn and a linen thread. Here, for example, the first I wanted to speak about is the one we have done for the Hôtel de la Marine in Paris, for the bedroom of Mme de Ville. And this fabric is very original because we have been working starting from fabrics of the 18th century. And by working on these fabrics, we have shown that this quality was quite not very usual in the 18th century, because the 18th century was really very rich of brochet and lampas and a little bit less of brocatelle. And the originality of this fabric is that the background of this fabrics is very rustic. And we can see that we see through the warp of this fabric, we can see the linen thread which is used. And here, for example, we have been using a lot, we have done a lot of examples of this weaving, because we wanted to find the exact thread to use for the realization of this brocatelle. We have been working starting from a lot of archives of our fund, And these archives of Brocatelle shown us that this Brocatelle was very rustic at this time. And you can see, for example, this fabric where the background of this Brocatelle is absolutely not the same as the one we see today. Here you can see at these parts of this Brocatelle, which has been very used, that we can see the thread through this the warp of the fabric. And we have been doing a lot of examples of the weaving before doing the final weaving, and you can see at the back of these fabrics the different thread we have been using. And the best one was this one, because it was a very famous jute thread, jute yarn, and it's a very original quality to be used in a Brocatelle. You can see that through the warp it transpires, and you can see this red color of the weft that has been used. And here, when you see all the original design of this fabric, it goes very well with the way of weaving this Brocatelle. And you also see that we have a lot of brightness in the design, and we have a background more less bright than the rest of the design. The second example I wanted to show is the one of the Ministry of Justice in Paris, Place Vendôme. It is for the little boudoir of the Empress Eugénie. And this one is a 19th century Brocatelle. This is the quality we are used to see today, because you can see on the background that we have been using a twill weaving, and this twill weaving is absolutely not the same as this one. The Brocatelle I show you here is much more rich than the first one of the 18th century. And here, for example, on this one, we had only a few information about the original fabrics of this little boudoir. And this little boudoir had, we only knew that it was a crimson Brocatelle. So we have been working through the book of Grand Frère, it's our predecessor, and Grand Frère had a design book, very detailed about the date, detailed about the designers working on these fabrics. And through all the different design I have proposed, it is this one which has been chosen. It's the pattern 2005, a damas dessin à filoche, copié sur une étoffe brochée par messieurs Imbert et Bergera, pour nous, in September 1856. And for this fabric, we had an original weaving of this Brocatelle in a very deep blue, which is called gros bleu. You can see how nice is this original color. And to have exactly the good crimson color that the decorators and the curators wanted for this little boudoir, we have been choosing a color into our fond. And this is the original color they wanted to have. That is a crimson, quite pink, a pink crimson, and we have done exactly the same color for the final weaving. So this is very important to see that when it is possible, we like to work on our fond of fabrics, because like this we don't invent anything, and this is the sign of our making of luxury. Thank you very much.